Well, I believe there's nobody online currently, but whatever. It's Starliner's launch. I mean, eventually. So I want to do this live stream, and let's see what will happen during this launch. And actually, like what else could happen? It's already been so long. They have troubleshooted a lot of stuff. And I mean, even Starliner itself seems like a little bit old now. But I can still remember like the last time. Wait, what is the last time they tried to launch Starliner? Actually, this photo, I mean, the photo of this live stream was made in August 3rd, 2021, so it's about more than 9 months ago, and it do take a lot of time. And wait, what did they do on their last trial on launching Starliner? I remember it's also an Atlas V, and once they were sure the Starliner could not be launched, yeah, they switched that Atlas V to for the mission of Lucy, yeah, Lucy, and well, we still don't know the solar array of Lucy could be fully deployed or not, but they're trying, yeah, they're trying. And let's see, actually.
If the Starliner fails, who does NASA turn to? Where do they go?
Wow.
NASA was asked.
The first speech I turn on the sound is like, it is a lot of failed.
That NASA has full confidence.
It's still about. It is about 18 minutes before launch. And this launch. Hey, actually, that is a nice anime. Let's see. Oh, that's what you say. Let's switch back to the camera.
So we'll listen into that, and I will stop talking if they go into a.
So let's talk about the mission itself. Starliner is a test flight, but just like the first flight of Crew Dragon, the first flight of Crew Dragon brought 2 astronauts to the ISS, and the rest of the space are for cargo. And this time Starliner is also carrying something to the ISS, and once it returns back to the Earth, it will also bring something back from the ISS. It's like the Soyuz capsule. The Soyuz capsule have a orbit module, and once the Soyuz capsule leaves the ISS, since only the return capsule will return to the Earth. Actually, their orbits. They love to put trash into the orbit module because it will just burn in the atmosphere.
Or any sort of thing pops up. That is why this entire commercial crew program was designed the way that it does. So it's working.
And right now we're in a scenario where everybody's talking like.
I mean, based on the
it's good that Crew Dragon is flying because it basically can help with capabilities to the station as long as Starliner is not ready. But we could easily, like, it would also be good to have a backup for Crew Dragon because there could always be.
Based on the spec of aesthetics, I really don't like the aero kit of the Starliner, just like the. New Shepard. It's like it's not smooth, you know. There's a gap, and a change on the diameter, so it looks really weird. But I mean, based on science, it works. So I believe if there's the cheapest way to achieve it, they will use it. Another problem is like Atlas V is going to retire, so I mean, in the future, if the
so basically,
Starliner is really going to become a
northeast-ish, and it also
competitor
will,
of
and
Crew
that
Dragon,
might be interesting for me. It will also fly above
I'm really
Central
looking
Europe
forward
during the
to
second stage run.
looking
So
they
they
use
still hope in me that there's a
Vulcan
lightning storm
to launch
approaching
Starliner
where I
instead of
won't
Atlas
totally run
5.
out of my room at T-minus
Ironically,
10 minutes.
you know,
Before
Atlas 5 is still using RD
Yeah, I hope you get
180,
some eyes on
which
that.
is
That
a
would be
Russian
really,
engine,
really, really
and based on the
Got
situation,
that chart
I mean, the sensitive
you
situation
got that
now,
chart. Oh, sorry about
it
the logo there,
becomes
Juliet. That was just
really
a little bit too big.
ironical.
You got
I
that
mean,
chart of visibility, and you can see it like launch plus 30. Here, let me get the logo in. You can actually see it launch plus 30, launch plus 60, launch plus 90, sort of like rings. And if you're inside of that ring, you can sort of look off in that direction. Of course, if you're along the coast, up the coast of Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina there, you'll be able to look out over the water and hopefully see this here when it launches. You go a little bit further inland and you get a little bit out of range. I actually can't tell where Charlotte, North Carolina is on this map. Like, I need the state borders or something to figure
Yeah, that
out
would
where
be
my
good.
house actually is. But anyways, there is where you should look in the
one
general
interesting
direction based
part
on
is
where you are.
actually the position of the
Very
solar
cool.
array of new generation quotation mark, because like I really don't think Starliner is like a new generation
Thank you for asking that question.
spaceship. I mean, comparing with cockpit
Lord
of
of the Rings,
of
Hobbit.
of a dragon,
It'd be yeah, okay, yeah, Boromir.
you know,
That's what I'm-
what's that? LCDs,
Just pull that out.
LCD screens, LCD screens.
Thanks.
Starliner is still
we
full
rewatched the
of
movies because you mentioned
pure
them. That's
scales,
nice of you.
and
Wasn't there somebody?
oh, well, let's talk
in our Discord
back
saying
to the
they don't
position
like
of
Lord of the
solar
Rings? I
arrays.
put 'em on blast,
I mean, new
wasn't somebody having, like, a whole
generation
rager discussion about how
spaceships
they didn't
like
Lord of the Rings and
Starliner and
that's wrong with you?
Dragon, they
Yeah, I think there was something
Dragon,
like that.
I mean Dragon 2
but I'm not sure
put
who ever had
solar
put it
array
as well.
on the
Yeah,
top
I thought you were about to say who it
half
was, and I was like,
surface
I
of
wouldn't
it,
do that.
and
I always
Starliner's
want
solar array
excuses to
is
rewatch the movies, so now
on
you
the
gave me
bottom
one,
of
so I will
the
rewatch the movies now because
of
they're
the
mentioned.
capsule,
Excellent.
and they just
Let's
like
see.
putting solar arrays on the surface of the spacecraft, which is, well, I still prefer the like the real solar panel, which is deployable, just like Soyuz. I mean, that's why actually I prefer SpaceX's Dragon 1 instead of Dragon 2 because it has two big solar arrays. But basically, these solar panels is a power source. During its flight before. I mean, before it is docked with the ISS or after it undocked with the ISS and before it returned to Earth. So it doesn't need a high power generation rate.
And then it goes into
As a reason, it
like 5 seconds
really
before it blows
can
up.
save some
yeah.
some weight and space.
But so let's talk about Starliner. Did it do an in-flight abort test, or was that just something SpaceX did because they're trying to, inspire confidence in their vehicle, or how does that all work? They opted to do
Feel
it.
bad, 11 minutes.
Yeah, so they did, right. SpaceX opted to do it, Boeing opted not to do it. There is a requirement, obviously, in commercial crew to demonstrate that they has in-flight abort capability. However, given the cost associated with in-flight abort tests, mainly you have to explode a rocket, the fact is that the requirement was not to actually conduct an in-flight abort test, but you could have verified it using computer simulations and component testing and test firings of the abort motors, all those things. You could verify your in-flight abort capability without actually doing a flown test. Both providers, I believe, were required to do pad abort tests. That was a requirement. So both providers did do that.
Crew arm's moving away. Sorry, I just wanted to mention that.
Oh, yep, nope, thank you. Crew access arm is retracting. That's good. But the in-flight abort test was a choice whether to basically do it in real life or verify it other ways with simulations and things like that. Boeing opted to do it with simulations. SpaceX said, "No, we've got a flight-proven Falcon 9 that we don't care if it explodes, and we'll do the real thing." Yeah, there was a couple different ways for the two providers to verify that requirement, and they both did, just in different ways.
Well, I just found one interesting thing. So NASA
steps in the
space
right direction, you
flight,
can really see it start
we can
swinging
see
back
about
away
more
to,
than
of course,
10,
get
I
out
mean,
of the way of the rocket.
11,000,
When the rocket
about
takes off, you don't
12,000
want
people
the
are watching
your
now.
access arm to
But for
push off
NASA's,
flames from the rocket going
I mean, for
fast.
Boeing's
that would be bad.
local live stream, it's only about 2,700.
It always
Boeing.
bothers me that it goes.
I'm
like
really,
beyond
really
180
upset
degrees. It's like
about
almost like your
Boeing.
arms
It's
are only one
a
way at this point. It's like I don't know. Maybe that's
legend
the
and
problem with stuff that heat up, like the tower
great
has a
enterprise
arm.
that
That's
it
wrong with
do
your
is
voice.
encounter something now.
Oh man. Let's see.
Well,
Falcons
talking about
asking, Starliner, do you get
Starliner,
Crew Dragons?
I actually have one classmate that
can use that to
was working for the internship of the Starliner program.
That figure is correct, right?
It's like
that's
while
the
we
gif-
were,
the
I was
joke is-
I was
the gif joke is a
discussing
joke, but the statement
homework
is real, right?
assignment of one course called
I think so. Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah, sorry.
spacecraft
We're working through something in the
attitude,
back right now.
No,
Sorry.
you're good.
dynamic
You
and
can-
control.
Can we-
I saw
So,
there's a
to answer the
Starliner
question, yes,
sticker
it can be.
on one of my classmates'
There will be a fleet that
laptop,
can fly more.
and I was like, wow, Starliner? Seriously?
So,
Like,
Adrian
he's
here
like,
is
yeah,
asking,
I
will
work
this
for
new
it.
capsule be refurbished and used again for crewed missions, or is this one just going to be only a test article? Do we know what the future holds for this particular capsule?
So
It will be.
I've heard the news that there's something fell down while Starliner is transporting to the launch pad,
But I think
and I still don't know, like, what is
I
that?
believe this capsule will fly again on Starliner
It seems
2.
like it's just
That was
a
the capsule that flew
covering stuff or
the first
something. It
orbital
doesn't
flight
matter,
test
but
is
it
reused
really
for
doesn't feel
the crewed
great.
flight
You know.
test, I think. A new Starliner that has not flown before will be on Starliner 1, and then this capsule will get reused for Starliner 2. In my head, I think that's what I'm remembering. It is possible I'm mistaken, but back to the previous question of I think there's going to be 3 in the fleet, so at some point a new one has to get introduced, but they are all being reused for future flights.
Got it.
Excellent. And real quick, y'all, we want to jump in really quickly. If you saw down in the description of the stream, you may have noticed that this is actually a sponsored stream. We've been working with Brilliant.org to bring some awesome interactive STEM learning to y'all.
Yeah,
So
David
as I
Olwitz, you're
continue-
the
Aha!
first one. I
Look at
mean,
this.
it's
We've
really
actually got
it's a
that
really
is a shot of the
it is
bot
really
who asked, and so we
an
actually
awkward
got a shot of
time.
the tracking bot that we
Currently,
got uploaded, and you can see
I
it
believe
kind of the symbols sideways there.
in
But
Asia
it's
it's
interesting
it's
how this bot
just
actually
in the
tracks
morning,
things. Brilliant
so
has a course that
everybody
actually helps you
like they're
understand some of the
either
basics.
still sleeping
So
or eating
we
breakfast
are
or going to
going
work or
to
school
show
or something,
in
because
just a second here. There it is.
it's
It's
Friday
virtual 3D
morning
networks.
and
This
it's
is
not
one of the
weekend
really
yet.
awesome STEM interactive courses you can do. And there's part of it
In
with the computer
America's
vision problem. How do you
it's
actually train a computer to see
like
things, which is literally what that camera is
in the
for. Of course,
afternoon
trained it sort of what a rocket should look like,
or
and
night, but
it identifies the rocket
it's
and
summer
then
now,
tracks it as
so
it goes.
you can
And
you
it's
can
really
see
interesting. This
like
is actually part of the
here
interactions that you
in
get with Brilliant. It's like to start, here's a small reach of a photograph we've pulled
Florida,
together.
it's
Using
about
nothing but what you think.
let's
What do you
see,
think this
let's
is?
see,
Is this like a book,
about
a plant,
5 here,
a
so it's
chair?
about
These are
7.
the sorts of interactive
But
lessons. This is
current
random grayscale pixels.
currently
I don't know. There's no
here
timer in chat, but I don't know
the
if we have enough time to
sky
read the chat here. I don't know, chat, if
becomes
this is a book,
totally dark at
I'm going with
about
plant.
8 p.m.
Plant
So
tag?
it
Alright.
still looks like during the daytime.
Not even close, it says.
What is it? Grayscale pixels?
Yeah, look here. If you add some color in, you get a little
What
bit
are
more
we doing
information.
now?
And so this is a mushroom, a car, a smokestack, or 2 matches. Chat, what do y'all think it is? It's not a horse.
I'm gonna go with 2 matches.
And in
Chat
Europe,
is, what is chat saying?
in Europe, I believe it's
It says there does seem to be a
like
cross of sorts.
at midnight,
Again, it explains all
so
the stuff in the background.
everybody
I like
are
this
like
because
either
this is
sleeping
everybody's
or
favorite
doing
aspect of
something, or they
cameras.
can watch this
Is
live stream. I
like
actually
when you
wonder,
zoom
like,
in and
what
out,
if
you can actually see
all
how when
the
you try to
audience
enhance
from?
something,
Well,
you get a little bit
it's
less information.
American
So
imagine,
if you're
so
interested in
probably
learning how
all the
computers
audience
can actually
are
be
American.
programmed or trained to identify different things, this interactive course goes through
Well,
a
what
lot
are they doing?
of
It's
that
5
information.
minutes
So
before
if
launch,
you
and they are
want to check it
playing.
out, head on over to brilliant.org/NASA
They're playing.
spaceflight.
Let's see
There's a
what it
link down in the
is.
description you can click. Let's get the link into chat as well. After the launch goes, maybe check it out. If you're interested in continuing to learn things, make sure
Fine,
you
we still
head
have
on
about
over. And
5
again, massive
minutes.
thanks to Brilliant for helping us make the bots possible, the streams possible, all that sort of stuff.
It looks like they're the same, so I can just close down.
Yeah, speaking of
But
the
I mean,
rocket,
why?
there's
It's
Cole,
just
and
basically
Cole
the
go for
same.
launch, so we
It's
are
basically just
go
the
for
same
launch.
resource
Just under
in
5 minutes.
Boeing's
5
live
minutes to
streams.
go.
Like, well, nobody's watching it.
Isn't that like a thing on all that? Like 5 minutes, everybody. Every episode would open with that. Anyways, snippets of my brain that I don't know still existed. Let's see. So
Oh,
it
thanks for your
really
kind
close
word,
to
David.
launch.
It's
Let's
nice to see you
we'll have
stream
good
more
launch audio
recently.
for you, so we can stop cracking our gums, but until then,
It's summer vacation now. In Asia, it is really weird because, like, based on my past based on my past experience, basically the spring semester ends at the end of June, and the summer vacation starts from July. So it's really weird for the semester ends at the 1st of May, and having like 4 months summer vacation. Well, basically, I still need to spend some time for work in order to get some money and experience. But it's still comparing with first and the classwork in the school, it is really more more relaxed because like at least I know once I leave the company, your time's yours once you leave the company, but while you're still taking classes, it's like after the classes end, you need to spend extracurricular times like about 5 to 10 times more than the time you spend in the classroom for studying yourself.
I'm trying to look for it. The question was essentially which.
Okay, T-minus 3 minutes.
Would you want to ride on?
Actually, a little bit appreciates that actually there's less people watching now because I don't need to switch back and forth between 2 different languages. It's really it sometimes will disturb my chipset. And it will affect what I'm thinking. Just like even if you use a computer, you can only use the same. You can only type this one language during the same time.
Actually, on that note, we should say that us out in the field, I'm gonna definitely pivot towards getting ready for tracking this liftoff. So we are gonna hand it off to the folks in the studio for commentary of liftoff, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
Yep.
All right. Have fun, Thomas.
Godspeed. Have a good track. Enjoy the launch. I'm excited that you and Julie and Steven are all about to get a little chest rumble from these solid motors here.
Oh, actually, before I cut out for launching as well,
actually, from this way you can see like the difference between probably ULA, Boeing, probably style of live streaming comparing with SpaceX. SpaceX time. The protest bar has a curve on the bottom of the screen, but I don't know why. ULAs and Roscosmos are all just like a straight line.
30 seconds away from OFT-2 launching out of is it Cape Canaveral or is it KSC? It's Cape Canaveral, right? Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, he managed 100 seconds.
Isn't that little voice in your head of self-doubt? It's great. Let's see here.
Oh man, he's like, it feels so weird. Sometimes we're waiting it for so long, and like just during its launch, you're like keep thinking about what will happen if some accident happens.
I'm definitely looking forward to.
Real quick, Jack, I want to say how important this is. I know everybody's got their own favorite space companies, and some are cool, and et cetera, but having multiple ways for us to get human beings into space is always a good thing.
On the undergraduate student.
Think about your very
yeah.
the only rocket that exists.
Well,
the more options
since there was nobody, I was keep like chatting with myself or sharing my opinion in the beginning of the stream.
And this is another spacecraft coming online.
Well, I mean, based on my opinion, I actually prefer Dragon from SpaceX more than Starliner. But
launch of OFT-2.
just like just as they said, they really need a competitor in the commercial aerospace field.
Here we go.
Oh,
We got something.
Ignition and
we got
liftoff.
something.
And it is cleared the tower and the towers. And let's listen
Good
to those
luck,
engines.
So lift off. So Boeing's live stream have a little bit delay, so let's just watch NASA's. I wonder if we can see the cloud once it achieves sound of the speed of sound. Oh, I actually prefer this side more, because, like, looking back from the rocket is, it is absolutely useful for research if there's anything happened, if any accident happened. These videos will have the scientists to and engineers to figure out what happens, even there is no accident happens.
I'm sitting here at that robot shot.
It is useful for observing how the booster detached with the rocket, and but actually these basically these are for research based video, and generally in the previous launch they use like CG to simulate it. Actually, they are still using it if the weather is terrible and they just cannot shoot the rockets. But like after SpaceX joined, they know that people think these videos are cool, so they start to use this video on the live stream. Like even the launch live streaming is a new new type of reporting launch in the 21st century.
But that looked like that's
it happened really fast. You can see the plume is expanding.
For another 2 minutes now, until 4 minutes and 35.
Well, okay. Oh, so yeah, it really have a delay, so we can see the SRB detach.
Gosh, you gotta love a good rocket cam.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you got some use out of my tracking cam because it sounded like the robot did pretty well.
Alright, I mean, I support Boeing. Seems like there's really is not a lot of people watching Boeing's. Let's watch Boeing's.
Thomas, welcome to being at a launch with a robot at your side. This is what I experience literally every time at Vandenberg. I'm like, so my main function here, to be clear, is to set the robot up, right? Okay, good. Just so we're all clear. No, but for real, we used your shot.
No, as long as it looked good, I mean, that's great. It was a beautiful launch.
It's still going.
You have to see it like that. We are so used to have good shots by you, so we don't mention that.
Atlas 5 is already a mature rocket, so we really cannot expect something's going wrong for ULA's job. So, as you see, I think the rest of the potential problem is based on Starliner itself. But like, what kind of stuff do they need to work for putting Starliner on Vulcan? And another problem is actually Vulcan. When will Vulcan launch? When will be the Vulcan's first flight? It should be this year, I hope. Blue Orient is really producing B4 engine, so I'm happy with that, because Atlas 5 really needs to I really want to see like the new generation launch vehicles are coming, and just let these old rocket retires. But even through that, I still like Soyuz in Proton.
And we're standing by. There is the nose cone separation, Starliner's protective nose cone also jettisoning, and then you have ignition of both RL-10 engines on the upper stage.
Look, they refocused the camera on the center part. For the
Right,
new
yeah,
stage
of course.
It has a better center, like a better camera focus on parts than Kerbal, because I struggle with camera focus on Kerbal a lot.
I used to have
The
a mod.
engine plume on this mod, whatever they're using, isn't as great. I've seen some better engine plumes.
Yeah, so this time they use anime because really they cannot track it. There was a cloud on the ground. I mean, near the ground. They really cannot photograph it.
Real information.
Yeah, I'm trying to report on the launch, guys. No, the Aeroskirt has also jettisoned. That's kind of a.
Well, the Arlington engine is another legend engine, so I would say the color of the flame is incorrect because it's using liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen, but well, it doesn't matter. Probably they prefer this hue more.
So Starliner wears a hat and pants, but nothing else. No shirt.
You can even see the animation of the attitude controls, which is great.
Right, yeah.
Just a single Centaur.
Starliner is the only spacecraft that has requested that extra thrust for its abort trajectories. So.
Yep.
So it's two separate engines, not like a single nozzle or dual nozzle on a single chamber kind of thing.
Correct. It is two actual different engines. I believe on this when they do the dual engine Centaur, they are both RL-10As. I believe. The engine that you see on most single engine Centaurs is an RL-10C. So slightly different variants of the same engine.
And so there's more thrust, but also it's like a kind of a redundancy thing, right?
Correct. Yes.
Also, they called out in the counternet that they have good timer, so that's an interesting call out.
Did they actually say that? They have a good timer?
Actually said good timer.
Well, I actually just found one disadvantage. If we try to copy this kind of configuration in KSP, I mean the solar panel's position of Starliner is spot on. What image stocks? The background is not moving. The flame, you can still see the flame. The flame is the energy of the flame is still moving, but the background is not moving at all. It's just like shifting. Well, back on the what I said. Since the solar panel is on the bottom of the capsule, it's like if you don't separate the second stage, it will never. You can never generate power by the solar array, which doesn't matter in the real world because, like, once it's burned down, it's designed by separated immediately once the propellant is
Starliner separation will be at
it's empty. But in KSP, well, who cares? We can just like still attach a big rocket in the back of the spacecraft and give it there.
6 minutes from now. A bit more. 6 minutes and 20 seconds.
Sometimes we just, I think KSP players even put solar panels on the fuel tank of a rocket, which is extremely.
We're done.
Whatever, it is KSP.
Yes, you are done.
That's just like Massachusetts in the background, isn't it?
Yep, there it is.
The aerospace in the real world is still like way more harder than KSP. But I mean, if KSP is that hard, less people will like to play it.
I thought it would be earlier. I kind of looked wrong. It will be around 15 minutes.
But seriously, this anime,
so it will be after separation.
well,
but if
it's beneficial for showing the real-time information. Actually, I think the real important information is on the top right side of the screen, which is the live data. Those data are more important than this kind of an animation. But they really can't. I believe if they want, they can use Kerbal Space Program to to take a better demonstration animation for this.
Yeah, between spacecraft separation and the actual re-entry, Centaur
I mean, the
does
good thing is
send
like
residual propellants
they're
that are on board,
shifting
so that
a
during
single
re-entry, you notice
JPG
less
file
potential energy on board.
background in front of a
So that's what we're
like
talking
a
about when we
Starliner
talk about
GIF
blowback.
image.
That's venting your residuals.
Mustn't make joke about venting residuals.
What?
Oh my god.
Let's see. Should I do some more questions while we wait for this burn to wrap up?
I think we have a minute or two right here.
Yes, a minute.
Excellent. So, quick question. Like, get a real quick one, Jack.
How long does it take for Starliner to rendezvous with the ISS?
So really can see like the inclination of ISS is very high. I mean, it's because the launch site of Russia, it's like it really will waste a lot of propellant.
Quick answer as well.
And if you want to go further, if using the ISS as a like a base or the harbor of bigger spacecraft, it really will waste a lot of fuel on changing the inclination. But I mean, ISS is a research-based space station, so it really doesn't matter.
That's more efficient, but it's hard to do that if you don't have a lot of thrust.
Yeah, literally what you go ahead.
That's like kind of when you're in Kerbal and you notice that your apogee is coming closer and closer, but you're not.
Right, yes, exactly.
Yet. So you basically pitch up, like hoping that it's enough.
I have done that way too many times.
It's a really efficient engine, but it's lower thrust, and so literally by sort of pointing up and flying nose up a little bit like that, it's buying itself time. It's using some of its thrust to counteract some of the gravity that's trying to pull it back down, and it's literally buying itself some time. And that right there.
Like you said, yeah, it's guiding. It's accenting with the angle of attack because they just mentioned that the RL-10 engine, which explained extremely nice that our RL-10 is a high efficiency engine with a really low thrust. So like during its accent, it actually needs to tilt a little bit to use the, some part of the thrust to change the gravity.
That's what we like to hear.
Yep. Thanks, Thomas.
What were you saying, Adrian?
I was just saying that we have about 2 more minutes until separation.
Got it. Julia, how was that? How'd you like that launch?
You speechless. Oh no, I guess not.
No, I had my mic up. I had my mic up because we had our mic on the ground here. I love that launch, to be honest. That was it's been a while since I've heard salads like that, and I really enjoyed that.
It looked like a beauty, so I'm glad to hear that.
It's a pretty good view too. We lost it, later in ascent, as you noticed it, because there are some distant clouds. So, but always good to hear solids. Yeah, I agree.
While we wait, do we have a picture of Dad's favorite shot here already? Like, do we have a shot of
right now? ULA teams are confirming that Centaur is in a good configuration for separation, making sure that all of the pressures in the tanks are stable, and it will be able to conduct a proper disposal burn later. Flight control teams here in the room are moving to their insertion checklists.
Well, Boeing live stream is like, it's lacking people's casual chat, but it's more or less like a mission control center based information, so let's still turn the sound of NASA's live stream.
Extremely generous of you, and it absolutely will go to support everything that we're doing, including more robot stuff. Because
we do have a special treat
it's
here
like,
about the robot.
News.
Like, as soon as spacecraft's up, we're going to talk about that.
It's like its first launch, and you encounter a lot of. You do encounter a floor. It's like
launch vehicle separation.
We have some
on the ground reporting that Starliner and Centaur are both ready for it.
We get spacecraft separation.
In the right orientation on a stable trajectory.
So they said that it's ready for separation.
Even when not on the
I mean, look at SpaceX. Falcon 9, the launch of Starlink, the launch of Crew Dragon. It's never in use now. It's reliable and it's just becoming a new kind of taxi from the Earth to the ISS. So like even a Crew Dragon, the what is the last kind of that Crew Dragon launch? The inspiration is the inspiration mission? Probably.
Though. You can tell that this is ULA's animation. Yeah.
They set Centaur as the root part.
They set Centaur as the root part. Oh no, the probe core is on the Centaur.
Did they attach a probe core?
Oh, so they confirm the
right square bracket.
Yeah, right square bracket.
Spam through the brackets real quick, and then it like switches to your fairings that are back in the atmosphere.
It's just like they forgot to set the root part of the Starliner. So the view is still focusing on RL10, the second stage of L5, which is.
For a smooth ride to space, and thank you, Dylan, for your help.
Did we get a call out on successful spacecraft separation?
Oh my.
Either way, thank you, Parker, so much for being super generous.
How could they solve this problem? Yeah, so they switched back to the mission control center because, like, they don't want us to keep tracking the second stage.
There we go. It is confirmed. There was the call out on successful spacecraft separation there. ULA actually ties their animations to real data. It's not like you would get something where it's like, okay, hey, look, it's separated, but then you see everybody there anxiously looking at the screens. I was staring them down, seeing for
we're now just under 16 minutes into today's flight.
So basically the rest part is just like keep guiding and doing orbit ejection and orbit insertion on the proper point. Basically the highest point or near the highest point of the parabola line. And it takes a few minutes for getting there.
Speaking of Michael Fan Club, let me see here really quick.
Starliner making its way over the North Atlantic.
Let's like watch what's in the mission control center. Oh, they switch back.
What's called demonstration flight instrumentation. We have some extra sensors on there for these demonstration flights. We have more of them on during power descent, but we don't need some of those right now, so flight controllers are powering some of those.
This is the actual replay here.
But some other things that are powering on include those propulsion line heaters.
What his screen showed as it identifies the rocket and tracks it downrange. Usually Michael would do a tweet or something like that, and he turned it around really quickly
around
today,
negative 250 degrees, so we
without
want to make sure those propulsion lines don't freeze.
Yeah, and he did do it.
And the radiators are those little small silver discs
you can see identifying the big gradient there, the place where the engine light starts in the bottom of the rocket sort of blends
the only way you can get rid of heat in a vacuum is through
Sort
radiation.
of shows. I don't know the
and so that sublimator will be powering down, and the radiators will be taking care of the heat management for the rest of the flight until we get ready to come home.
In sort of the right position. You can actually see a roll there as well.
Some things that you also might be seeing on your screen are some RCS
where
jet
it rolled,
activations.
And so he said, "Hey, the rocket looks a little different." He could correct me if.
Oh, this is a play.
Target for that orbital insertion burn.
And see, look at how we're trying to keep that exhaust plume out. The flames, the actual flames, haven't actually changed that much. The rocket's sort of leaning over, but you still get the dark body of the rocket with the bright.
The Atlas 5 ascent acceleration is really fast, which makes it not that spectacular. So prefer like the rocket is ascending smoothly and not that fast, but actually it will cause a waste of propellant. So
something you want a high contrast point, so something really bright next to something really dark.
And so the colors you're seeing on your
screen, isn't it nice of a rocket to provide that for us?
And look, you can see it. It got a little confused there, and then he respected. Right? It lost the bright
colors you're seeing on the screen are indicating Starliner's
hey, now look for this.
Starliner is
and now you have that
on the
sky
coast
on one
of
side,
Europe, and it's about 224 miles. 139 miles, 224 kilometers above the Atlantic Ocean as it makes its way
good deal. Anyways, back to this.
To the topmost
sorry about that.
part of this orbit of the
So
heading
that's
southeast
amazing tracking
over
software
Europe
from Michael. It's
and a little bit of
extremely
Africa
satisfying
in the next
that
few
he
minutes
posts
as it
those,
begins.
It's really hard to
inside
image. It's still
reports.
it's already crossing like almost crosses the Atlantic, comparing the airplane.
Coming up at the 31-minute mark in today's
boy, do I have
flight. We're
ideas.
now just over 19 minutes
somebody
in.
on the ULA stream just dragged a window into the capture area. Like,
I saw that. We saw that.
Let's see what's inside the Mission Control Center. So,
Cool. So we
on
have
the first line of the desk, you can see a lot of MacBook.
Crossed arms, guys.
Which, wait, I think
yeah,
I'm sure it looks like a MacBook.
How about?
And the monitors are from
Any idea how many parts
Dell.
this ship has? Based on the lag, it's probably
Seems like all of the monitors from Dell.
For all the Kerbal jokes. Thank you, Remy.
Confirmation, we still have a good link command connection.
Simon, thanks for the
Kerbal
support.
jokes.
Todd, thank you for the support.
the physics simulations in Kerbal are really accurate because the parts are actually the size of atoms. It's just that the part count's really high.
They're discussing. They're discussing Kerbal Space Program.
And then you get the answer.
For the simulation.
Rogue Neurons, thank you for the support. Nikon's in Space says Jack Fan Club, thanks for the support. And the Fan Clubbery.
Hey there,
Rusty,
Jack.
What's up?
Hey, Jack. I just want to say something on behalf of Thomas and I because we do have to pack up and leave while our live stream continues. So I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of both of us for joining
here
us.
in Houston. If you hear of the flight director Mike
Indeed.
Lammers
Thanks
and
everybody for
Rick
watching
Hempling, who's
and,
been
joining
assisting
along in
him,
the fun.
particularly with weather observations.
So you guys have
and,
fun on the rest
earlier
of
you
the
saw
stream.
several of the teams who have been supporting from the launch site in Florida.
Let's see.
Now 21 minutes into today's flight. That's just about 10 minutes away from that orbital
Jeremy Hancock,
insertion
thanks for
burn
the support. They say
that
never
we're
seen an
watching
Atlas
for.
launch before.
It's
What is
coming
the
up at
ground
31
visibility of the
minutes
upper
into the
stage burn
flight.
compared like to Falcon 9? I love NSF. That's a good question. Like, how easy is it to see the second stage of flight versus the second stage of flight for Falcon 9?
Well, I just found one thing that
Okay,
all
so right now
all
we're
the
waiting on word for the orbital insertion
all the people
burn.
in the Mission Control
I misspoke
Center
earlier when I said
is
we
not
had a good
sporting
one.
mask
We
now.
still are waiting to see what the deal is.
It's super glad to see
Adrian, did you see it?
the live.
No.
And
well, at least
some part of the world is returning
not
to
even sure
the normal
which
life
exact
in
time frame it will be
2019.
here. Like,
So we're about a minute away.
I wish there was a good website where you could see
Starliner into
the
its
exact
thrust align
position
mode.
right now.
Once again, just making sure that Starliner is pointed exactly at the right attitude.
Cool. We're sitting here. We're waiting
for
on
that orbital
word
insertion
about
burn. It's going to hold that attitude.
The orbital insertion burn.
When will it do orbital insertion?
Like, let's just
Basically, it's just like
because I think it's
gliding.
to mention it. That was the interesting the thing that did not go well the last time.
Yep.
It is otherwise very quiet on the flight control loops, which, as Lauren said earlier, silence is golden.
Yeah, and we will just hold and wait and see what word we get here.
We just said that read weight. Yeah. Hey, I'm curious what is a big box at the bottom of the desk.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we know. It wasn't even at the pad after all. But that was an old question. Let's see, we got some
Guidance Navigation Control Officer confirmed that Starliner is moving towards that OI attitude.
That is a common
holding
spin on
for
the
orbital insertion
for sure.
Yeah. What's the fifth tower for? Launching
it's holding for orbital insertion now.
To pause and toss it back to Lauren.
Hey, wait, is it
I believe
light strips? I could
to talk with before they wrap up
Lucas
their
is asking
coverage
if the first
for the
OFT
day.
capsule returned intact
Lauren?
or if it was lost. No.
Hey, Brandy, thank you very much. Yes, joining me now is NASA astronaut Sunny Williams. Thank you so much for being here, Sunny.
Thanks. It's great to be here today.
And I know you've been following along.
The live stream on the side of the desk. They really should turn it to RGB. Yeah, it's it's artificial lighting probably.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Instead of a
Actually
single
leading up to this,
single
we've got
color
all the
light.
teams all over
But
the
I
And
can
even
quickly
on the
put
ISS,
of course, here in Florida,
the LED for
back in,
animation
Houston and
is
Denver. It's
RGB
just
because they need
huge
to
team to get this thing
adjust a
off the
hue.
ground and to get
It
Starliner
actually can
into flight.
simulate a
So
lot of
at the
different
moment,
color
it's
of
not
light,
that
but
big,
basically they just
about what
use
it's like
about
inside of
three
there.
units
So,
for
you know,
for lighting.
unabashed to just imagine what it will be like
Very
for the next
nice.
launch when we have people riding
If
the
they talk
Starliner
slowly
and this
enough,
Atlas 5 being a
then
human-rated rocket.
maybe
It's
they
pretty
will
awesome.
do it.
Yeah, we heard the guys earlier
before
saying
I
they were
am
jealous about Rosie.
talking.
With this
Absolutely.
sentence.
Well,
Yeah,
just a
there
few
we
months
go,
ago, we were
perfect.
talking
Jerwa,
about
thank
how
you
much
for the support.
confidence you
David
have
Dean,
in the
thank you for
Atlas
the
5
support.
rocket. And what made you say
Overlord
that?
Raven,
Yeah, you know, we've
thank
been
you.
here.
I
a couple
believe
times
you
watching
for
launches, of
focus and
course,
have to have
not
your
only,
blessings.
for Starliner
Uh,
OFT, the first
for the
time
support?
around,
I
but
think
Well-
for other payloads that have gone up on
Rusty
the Atlas
Shackleford?
5, and
Pocket
you know they're
Sand.
pretty
What's
expensive.
that?
I told my
Ford
mom at one
Focus?
point in
I
time,
don't know what it
they're putting
is.
that expensive
Thank you.
payload
I
on
was
the
gonna say, by the way,
rocket,
how
and I
many
feel
Oh,
really good about
car?
it.
the gerbils
And
thing again?
you know, I know I've
Well,
and then that
in
was
real
all
time
about
with
it.
that car, I'm not.
this rocket,
It's like
here,
what?
Decatur,
Ford
for example,
Focus?
as
like
well,
a
Denver.
4-hour stream.
I have really no
Understand
idea
engineering
with
is always
cars.
like
Instead of
important
Tesla,
engineering
because
that goes into
Tesla
this
is
complex machine.
holding by Elon
And,
Musk,
you
and
know,
I
they
like
are
SpaceX, I like
able
Elon
to,
Musk.
you know, people to do such a great job.
But for
So
the type
I
of
know
the
that their
car,
hearts are
it
with
really
us.
is
Ready
not
to launch humans
in my
into space.
field.
Important.
But
We are
still,
waiting for that moment
it
so
seems
we
like a
learn it
nice
is a
car.
very important
Just what is the
milestone
color
for
of it?
Starliner. What are you watching for here?
Yeah, we just want
Uh,
to make sure that you know that burn goes
How you
up.
how you will have a
We
nice
get,
time driving
polarized around the
driving
planet,
it?
and then we
But
can
no,
all
like
take
there's
a
multiple
deep
ways you can
breath
support us,
and
even
let
just
the
watching us. You
spacecraft
don't
fly
have
for a
to
little bit
contribute
and get ready for the
monetarily.
rendezvous profile for the
those-
ISS.
And
So
never
I think
encounter a
that
car
is
accident
really,
if
what
you want
we're
my
going to do is
bless.
make sure it's going to happen
else.
correctly, which
And
you know all
helping us share this
indications
stuff
are
around the
great.
world.
The spacecraft is
So,
working well.
Seriously, thank
Now,
you
Sunny, I
everybody
see you
coming
at the
out and
office
supporting
For some
quite
us.
aspect,
often.
actually,
I
space
see
travel
that
is
quite often.
safer
Crews really have
than
worked closely
it's safer than.
to have their hands
I
on
mean, space travel and
spacecraft
air
What
traveling
does that
is
relationship mean to you?
It's huge.
it's
Like I
much more
mentioned,
safer than driving a car.
during
I
the
can see them
days leading
both
up to this, I
getting,
really was
like,
just
both
thinking about the
Dragon and
teams.
Starliner getting a
All
fair
the
Probably
hard work that they've
because,
gone,
like,
you know,
once
into
it
getting this
ha-
spacecraft ready
happens
to
in
go,
an
as well
accident,
as getting this rocket
it will
ready to
be
go. I know
severe
has done a lot of work leading
if
up
you're
to
in
this
space
after the
or
first attempt, and it's this
on the
relationship
airplane,
is
so they need to
I
make sure
feel like I
it's
just wanted to
extremely
make sure that
safe.
we
Before car driving,
according to a timeline that I got sent to,
And so, as soon as you guys finish up here,
my friend,
it should be
my,
in
fr-
about
my friend
Oh,
invited
head back to
me
Houston.
for
You know, Mission
our
Control
karting
in
car
Houston right
racing.
now has
Just
the spacecraft, and
about
we want to watch the
I think it's
rendezvous.
about
You
one
know,
point,
we're also
1.5 weeks ago,
sitting
and I
in
was
the
like,
ship,
karting
seat
car?
of Rose, you know, wondering what it's going to be like,
And the
what
employee
spacecraft is
in
gonna
that building was
see, how
like,
it's gonna act,
no,
that
no,
rendezvous
no,
profile.
Mia, it is,
So we'll be
it's
very much
karting car.
following along.
You're
So
supposed to
it's gonna
race
be
with
an exciting
others.
24
It's not a
hours,
bumping
but
car.
I'm
So
racing
it was
I'll be
like
tonight
keep
to be
running
able to
others.
Again, there's
in
multiple
mission
ways to
control,
support what we
in
do.
some
One of the
capacity
ways to
watching,
support what we
just
do
like
Okay,
you
I was
were
like,
watching that
come
rendezvous
on,
profile.
it is like
can you tell
almost
us
the
much
only
about what would happen before you
chance I can bump people by
training
by
that you have to
with a
go
relatively
through?
high speed.
What kind of things are we going to be working on with
Legally?
Starliner?
Right, so this mission is going to
yep, that's
prove,
it.
you know,
It's
we're
right
going to
there.
learn
It's a
stuff.
shirt
Not
and a
everything is
mug.
going to
Yeah.
go 100% correct. We
And,
learn
if
stuff
you're a
every
fan of
time
Starliner,
we take
if you're a
something to
fan of this
space, and
launch,
so we're going to take those
then
lessons
run
learned from
on
this
over to our
mission
shop.
and
You
apply
already
it
need
to
to
the next launch, which is the crewed flight test.
Come on, you already used to have
But
you already have a
aside from
lot of
that,
money. You don't need to do that.
we're
There you go.
ready to
There's an
go
OFT2
do.
shirt.
We have the crew
Thank you to
validation
everybody
test,
who,
which is coming up this summer,
you
where
know,
the
supports
three of
what
us
we
I mean,
will be
come
in the
on, if they-
spacecraft, and, you know,
If they
suits in the seat,
change
checking out the
whole
environmental
crew
control system,
to a
checking out the
mod,
ergonomics, making
how
sure we fit, we're ready to
many
go.
different types of
We also be
mods
looking
they
at
have
working with the
to
software folks,
manufacture.
looking at all the displays, making sure that all the
There's all
displays
kinds of ways to support us.
tell us the
merch
right
store
Oh, I
is
like
very, very
I like
we
the
understand it correctly,
t-shirts.
and we could work with the control with that. So
Also,
there's a
hey,
lot,
look,
and
there's
then
Raptor Rainbow
of course,
shirts.
of course, there's training
Gotta love that
with the
design.
control team.
How's that?
I had
Yellow
some training
face.
with them, but you know,
But yeah,
leading
there's
up
merch
to
for
this,
all,
they've been
all
working on
there's
the
all flavors of merch for all flavors of
uncrewed
people.
version,
So
and
go
now
check it out.
you know us little pains in the neck are going to be sitting in there talking back to
But
them.
2
So
more
we're going to
minutes
work through all that
until the burn.
choreography of how we're going to work together in the
Excellent.
spacecraft.
2 more
Well,
minutes?
Sonny, your time is valuable. I really appreciate you joining us here. I know you need to get back
But
down
yeah,
to
so
the
far
console
it's
and
so far it's
follow
looking
along.
good.
So thank you for being
Fingers
here, and we're
crossed.
going to continue to follow along the loops here at the ASOC and wait for that orbital insertion burn, which is basically when Starliner will be up in orbit, hanging out
Really?
until we're
Well,
ready
I believe
to
they
start
encounter
the
some.
rendezvous process
Very,
and docking
I
tomorrow.
believe they
So
encounter
for now,
some
that's over
technical
me
going on
and
in this
Sunny,
issue
as well as
of
Dylan Rice here
playing
in
that
Florida, and we'll get
animation.
back
It's
over to
because it's
Brandy and
like
Josh.
we're gonna keep
that will be another
watching
point where we'll sprint to my kitchen window,
the
because
video of the Mission Control Center
maybe
for a
with
long
the,
time.
like,
So
the
this live stream is like,
I'm very
you guys are
having a
watching
hard
me,
time to
watching the people in the Mission Control Center, watching the progress of the mission.
if I see
or
maybe
low
the burn.
point of Starliner's
Oh,
orbit
that'd be
out
awesome.
of the Earth's atmosphere and
Because
get it into a stable
Yeah, it
orbit.
will be about
And after that,
Turkey
we'll begin checking
in
out
4 minutes.
the critical control systems
No, it's long gone.
for
Sorry.
tomorrow's
No, it's,
docking.
I missed that. That's long gone. It's
Oh.
it's gone.
You raised my hopes and then dashed them expertly.
Yes.
I didn't have a live stream camera, so I could take it or leave it.
Minute and a half until
Sorry.
the orbital
doesn't have a
insertion
live
burn.
stream camera
Starliner is in the
yet.
burn
Doesn't
attitude.
have a live stream camera.
You might have seen earlier
The
the
problem is I
nose
live
of
basically in one
Starliner
of the
might have been
dense
pointed down
populated
towards the
areas
Earth, but
in
that's
Europe.
actually the
good, you should
attitude
have
that
good
it needs
signal.
to be, because as it
Yeah,
orbits
but also
around
a
the
lot
Earth,
of light pollution.
it will no longer be pointing at Earth. It will
you
be
know,
pointing at
you
that
miss 100% of the
specific
shots that you blame
point
on
in
light pollution.
space that the orbital insertion
1
burn
minute to completion was
will
just
send us
called
to.
out.
I love the
And
optimism
once
in that
again, there'll be a
call-out.
lot of thruster activity.
Well, another thing is
On
like,
those 4 aft-facing
just see
OMAC
that
engines
progress
at about
bar
1,200 pounds
on the bottom of the
thrust each.
screen.
Oh,
It's
dude.
never
To be
moving.
pushing
It's stuck in
exactly the right
on the
direction.
spacecraft separation. Just like the package tracking system is stuck.
45
roller coaster?
seconds
Oh,
of
man.
this burn, changing Starliner's velocity
Good roller coaster.
by
Oh my
85 meters per
goodness.
second or 190 miles per
It's the
hour.
only kind of roller coaster. Spoiler.
30 seconds to go now until that burn ignites.
You
Like
know,
they're,
read
they're
that other
on
word.
the-
30 seconds?
The in-plane Relmo?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Rimo? Relmo? Is that an
Rimo?
L or an I? I can't tell.
I don't know. Chat, what do y'all think? Maybe it is an eye, Jack. I think I see a missing pixel that could indicate that it's an eye.
is this one of those NASA launches that's in 720?
Orbital
Oh,
insertion
Paradigm's
burn
rising.
starting in 5, 4,
We're gonna go.
3, 2,
That's good.
1.
Yeah, that's
Excellent.
good.
Again, this burn
This
is gonna
graph makes
last
much more
for
sense now that that green line is
45
moved.
seconds.
that the
Oh, it's much better now. I love this anime.
Orbital
And that's
maneuvering
Starliner
Animation?
itself.
and
It's starting
attitude
itself into
control
orbit, right?
thrusters.
So basically, red is the planned trajectory and green is the actual.
Well,
Yeah,
I
look, green
just
is
remember
Maybe that's
that
telemetry
the-
from the actual
Now, the
capsule.
colors you're seeing on
Oh,
those
that makes
jets, or you were seeing on those jets, they indicate
I'm-
which
combination
integrated
of space
controller.
spacecraft attitude and
Yeah,
control.
because-
Up to, we have 3
going
IPCs,
back.
integrated
Green is-
propulsion controllers.
Yeah, it's flying from right to left, it seems.
OI cutoff in
That's
5,
interesting.
4, 3, 2, 1.
But yeah, that looked like a good burn. Look at it. It's the green line moved and follows the red line now, which looks
And we
good.
have OI cutoff.
More
Looks-
used to seeing in the maneuver node planner in Kerbal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, how much
Where's the
delta V
little
was
handles
that?
you drag?
Yeah.
Like,
And
They really like Kerbal Space Program, man.
Yeah, basically they will now burn at the peak of this roller coaster. I
Yep,
will
that
just
makes sense.
refer to it. So
and
basically
we
they're
have
now going up
confirmation
the
from
roller
Flight
coaster
Director
and then
Mike
burn
Landers.
again.
We have a
So
good
they-
orbital insertion burn. Starliner is in a
Did they just
stable
raise
circular orbit
their
on its way to the
apogee, and then
International
when they get
Space
to the top
Station.
of this spike here, they'll raise the
Okay,
apogee?
Starliner is on its
I'm trying
way
to, like, visualize in my
to
head
to
what we're
ISS.
Hurdle to get through early on. We
It's
have a few
kilometers
demos to go
versus
on our way
One
to
tricky thing
the
is
ISS.
like
units that are slightly
they
cropped
just
off
said
And after that,
Starliner is from
Hopefully
the
it's a
right hand
good
side
docking,
to
but
the
so
left
far
hand
it's
side, which is really
also
weird.
good
It's like
launch.
even the
Great
direction
performance from
of the
Relay, as
icon
Ethan gave
is
us.
inverse.
More
also
of a
see it
cushion
as
we
an
needed,
M.
but Centaur was able to
X kilometers and
adjust
Z
accordingly. Place
Maybe
Starliner
two
exactly where we needed
Different
it,
axes of kilometers.
and we have confirmation
I
of a
want
good
somebody
OI burn.
from the
Once
company
again,
to come and
Starliner
explain
is
to
in
us what
orbit,
the heck this graph
heading
is.
to the ISS.
People in
please.
How does
chat are
this work?
saying,
Some
people in
major
chat are saying
milestones to
yes,
get
they're going
behind
to
us, but it is really just the
circularize orbit when
beginning.
they
We've
get to
got a number of demonstrations
top of
now
the
that
thing.
Starliner
Well, yeah,
will
of
have
course.
to
That's,
go
that's how
through
you would
ahead of its
do your
International
orbit.
Space
But like,
Station
I'm
arrival.
trying to discern what
Those are
this
going to
graph
start
is trying
pretty
to
much right
communicate
away
to me.
with a checkout
Yeah.
of the VESTA systems.
Oh, so the
VESTA stands for Vision-Based
maybe one is
Electro-Optical
yeah,
Sensory
maybe one
Tracking
is
Assembly. They're
alt
basically
and one
sensors
is
that take
speed.
measurements that Starliner uses for relative navigation.
We've received
Starliner has two of
confirmation
them,
that
and
the
each contains
Starliner
four
has
system
executed its
sensors.
orbital insertion burn.
A camera with a narrow view, a camera with a wide view,
Okay, the
an
orbit
infrared camera, and
injection
a radar unit
burn.
that uses
Insertion burn
to
is
detect
We have
completed.
indication of a nominal orbit.
Yay!
It's good.
In-plane relmo is in-plane relative motion, so it is relmo.
Oh.
Awesome. So Starliner's on a good orbit. That's what we want. Sorry, what were we going to say,
motion? No, I was just going to say, what's the motion relative to? I wonder if it's like
orbital
relative
insertion
motion to the
checklist.
ISS
We
or
have
something.
confirmation
I
good
think it's
radiator
the ISS,
activation.
yes.
So those radiators are now in control and controlling the thermal environment inside the cabin.
I like. Nice. It's so difficult to see that there's not a rocket there, though. It's like there's still an awful lot of stuff around there. Are they hiding a rocket? I'm sad that there's not a Pelican on the.
I was just
island.
thinking that. I was like, I'm bummed we didn't get any burb action.
I love Pelican Cam. Pelican.
Going back a little bit, just to help you guys learn a little bit about Starliner, going back to those IPCs, that blue, green, and red is what...
What is better about compared with Crew Dragon? More expensive?
Each of those thrusters are mapped.
Cat, don't be like this. It's like...
The flight controller is like the brain of Starliner. The IPCs are kind of like the nervous system, translating kind of those commands into movement.
I'm really curious about like trying to...
I mean...
We'll see the team continue to exercise those.
Boeing and Starliner are the protagonists today, so we cannot say that.
From my perspective, it's interesting to look at something.
I'll say that.
That's right. With that last milestone, we're going to say goodbye.
But I really want to like.
We'll be monitoring continually as Starliner makes its way towards
It
the International
seems
Space Station. Right now, Starliner
like
is
if
about
one day we can launch Starliner by fucking
miles
night.
above the coast of Africa, heading towards the Indian Ocean.
I don't know,
And
that's kind of fun.
since the next,
It always helps if you understand it yourself. Like if you came to the right conclusion with looking at it, you probably
Yeah, G-load is really one issue. So it makes that if you have a wider seat, during under the same G-load, you will feel better because you have more area catching on the chair.
I'm dead serious. Like if the person who designed that graph came onto the show, I would talk to them for like an hour about that graph and going to orbit.
Okay, so they said that Starliner is going to dock with the ISS in about
as it executes a series of burns to gradually raise
few hours.
This is our specific brand of nerdery.
Oh, you got 24 hours, probably.
For our coverage of the approach and docking
yeah, it's like an
phase,
official
when we
invitation
get
right
inside
here.
the approach
Graph
ellipsoid
guy.
or
You're a late
about
graph
a
guy.
2
Come on.
kilometer
Yeah,
walk
around
from
have you
the
in
station,
docking.
we'll see
It's
a
on
few
Friday.
quick demonstrations of the Starliner
Friday, let's see,
verifies
Friday.
some of the spacecraft's
Oh, tomorrow?
capabilities.
Converge
Astronauts
begins.
station astronauts command a hold of the Starliner, and we'll see the Starliner
3:30 p.m. EDT, which means it's tomorrow, 1:30 p.m., which is
30 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow for a docking scheduled for 7:10 p.m.
oh man, 3 a.m. tomorrow in the Asia. I believe there will be no
spacecraft to the station.
There will be no Asian audience being alive.
It'll be a busy week here in Houston during that docked phase of Starliner, and there's a lot to do. In the meantime, that'll do it for us here in Mission Control Houston.
Yeah, there we go.
With that,
we'll
I'll
put a
send it
link
back
to the
to
tweet and
Daryl
chat.
and
Of
Dee
course,
over at the
Steven was
Kennedy
out there
Space
not only
Center.
running a live stream camera for us, but
Thanks,
also
Gary.
took some,
I'd like to thank the launch and
photos of
flight
the
teams
launch.
across the country
So
for
I'll put
making
this over
this
into
day
the chat
possible.
so y'all can go
But as
check
you've
it
heard
out
me
and
this
maybe tell
time,
Steven to follow
we know this is the
whenever
first of
he
many critical
is out there shooting
milestones for
rockets.
this
He'll
test
usually
flight.
get some cool
One
tweets
stop,
from him. Sorry,
the
Jack, go ahead. I
Starliner
was
will
just
undergo
reading
a
No.
number of
that cool tweet.
checkouts,
All
including
good. Yeah,
battery
I'm glad you
charging,
showed that.
transferring
I'm
files
a little
through
bit
the
bummed
space
once again
station
we didn't get
downlink,
any Pelican
hatch
action on
open
the
and
pilings
close,
there, but
and
hey, that's
cargo
just how she
transfer.
goes.
And of course, all of these
But yeah, go check out
demonstrations will provide
Steven.
the
He's
data
going to be
needed
tweeting stuff
to
like
bring
this,
Boeing
and
closer to
whenever
having
there's
the
a cool
privilege
launch from
of
Florida,
carrying
Steven has a
astronauts
Patreon
to
too,
and
so
from the
go
space station.
support Steven.
NASA astronauts are certainly
Sure.
looking forward to that. The docking that you mentioned, scheduled for a little bit less than
y'all know me.
24
I'm
hours
Jack.
from now
I
at
do
7:10
videos. I edit
p.m.
videos. I
Eastern
comment
time.
on live streams.
And while
whatever you want to call me.
we're talking
Video
schedules,
editor,
make sure you
content
stay
manager,
tuned for a post-launch
etc.
news conference at 9
But yeah,
p.m. Eastern
that's
time on our website,
that's going to be it for this. Let's go around the horn and
live.
say our goodbyes.
And
Adrian,
NASA, Boeing, and ULA leadership will be on hand to answer questions about the OFT-2 test flight.
Thanks for having
up
me.
until this point in time.
I really
Until
enjoyed
then,
this one, and
then afterwards,
yeah,
you can
good luck
find updates
Starliner
at
on the rest of the flight.
Commercial crew,
indeed,
all one word, and then of course you can follow us on Twitter.
Chimera 96 in chat says Pelican Ring.
Commercial_crew.
We leave
Das,
you now
thanks for being on the stream as well. You were on
at the launch
helping
of
us
orbital
do our
flight
thing
test
and
number 2.
spread the
Before we do
joys
that,
of
I gotta
flight to
compliment
others.
that
So
jacket.
thanks
Oh.
for
That's a nice jacket.
That's right.
For sure, it's always a good time, Jack. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Somebody might.
No matter how many times I've done one of these streams, I always get nervous at
For
the
D.
beginning.
Russell, Boeing, ULA, and all of us here at the
I'm
NASA
less
Kennedy
nervous,
and
so
Johnson
thanks for being
Space
here.
Centers. I'm Daryl Nail. Have a good night, and remember.
And of course, out in the field, we
Okay, it
had,
seems like it is the end of the
Stephen
live stream.
Stephen, I don't know if he's going to be on comms, but we were just talking about him. So thanks, Stephen, for rolling out and setting up a live stream
So
camera.
Boeing, I think Boeing ends its stream. And then now that space flight is just
yep, this is his. So thank you, Stephen, for doing that.
keep
right now,
playing the replay of wait, is it a
good
replay?
photo. It's hard to do. Let me
No, it's just a current view of the launch
when you're
tower.
operating a live stream camera, it's kind of like a whole entire thing. And to
So
get a good photo
yeah,
at the same time, it's no small feat.
looking forward, like
also
how
out in the
will
field
they
Real quick,
take a
thanks to
photo
Steve as well for doing some
of
last-minute tripod
someone docking with the ISS? It's
we had to
I mean,
shuffle
the docking
tripod
system is
components
not
so that we had a
like
tripod that could
Soyuz
hold the pot, and then a tripod for him to use, and it's
or
like,
the
well,
Russian
head
docking
off this one,
system.
screw into this
So
one.
it will
And
be
he was, like,
interesting.
jumping through all sorts
Even
of
though I
sorts of
still
hoops,
prefer
opening
like
Amazon
every
boxes and
time
doing
I
tripod
see
services.
Soyuz
Thanks for
docking
that
with
as well.
ISS.
Sorry to
It's like,
interrupt there.
No, not at all. I'm glad you bring that up.
so yeah,
what we do takes a whole
congrats for
crew. It
Boeing,
takes a lot of people
and
all working their butts off, so it's always good to mention that sort of thing.
let's see.
Also on the field, we had Julia.
Could you
although I
chat
don't think
with
she's on comms now, but thank you,
some
Julia, for joining us.
others not related to the live stream?
Also had-
Yeah,
see Julia's
you
info there.
can.
Everyone's
If
info's
not
popping up.
here,
We also had Thomas on the stream as well. Also Thomas, I think they basically had to pack up and roll out, so that's why they're not on right now. But
亲爱的
thank you,
Bill
Jim
吧
Thomas, for
科学
sharing
号
his
不要把
info
那
with
拿
Mom.
出来编呐。Well, he just mentioned the
Michael, of
last
course, in the background.
the
For that
last
awesome auto
module
track. Holy
called
cow.
what's that? Not to,
All right, well, I think that will
whatever
do
the
it
last module
for us on
launched
this stream.
by
Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you so
Russia.
much for the support.
Encountered
Whenever you,
tons of
chose to do
problems
so.
while talking
That's
with
my info right there
ISS,
if you want to check me out
and
on Twitter or what have you.
it's like
And yeah.
it's docked with the ISS, but the flight computer syncs. It's not docked with the ISS yet, so it's attitude control system was trying to correct its attitude, but it actually is docked with the ISS, so it dragged ISS to do some like interesting flipping maneuver, and that is like hoping it will not encounter that kind of accident. Well, Starliner is not a big spacecraft, so I believe even that happened, it will not be it will not matter. Yeah. Yeah. See you tomorrow.
Bird! Go back to the bird! Yes! Just in time!
Wait! Hey, see that? 直播的上面 They wanted to shut down the live stream and they found the bird flying and just popped in front of the camera. So
now, Jack.
So they turned back to the live stream. Oh man. Well, I don't mind if they just like keep observing that bird there for the next extra half an hour. Oh man. Okay. 这个直播名场面啊。Yeah. If I can have a choice to choose between Crew Dragon and this one, I think for sure Crew Dragon. Yeah, Crew Dragon. Crew Dragon. So, yeah, that's the end of the stream. I will see, like if I have time to watch the docking operation of Starliner and the ISS, and that's all. I was not expecting others will watch this live stream. Basically, I just like to see the launch of Starliner. So yeah, that's what I want to do. And here's today's live stream. And have a good day or good night. And yep, bye.